5. As of 2026, they are finally getting out of the US. Now, is that good news? Absolutely. Am I excited about it? Sure I am. That's a huge step. One of the things we talk about is red dye 40 and its effects on children when it comes to their activity, right? Like they get labeled as ADHD and they don't really have it because they're just hyperactive. If you follow Dr. Aman, he does brain scans and he talks about what red dye 40 does to brains. It's insane. It's like almost unbelievable. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about what they have to do with your hormones. Because while this is good news, it is also late news. This is also something that we've been screaming for a long time that needs to be changed, but it hasn't been changed till now. So yay, we're getting some results. But if you want to feel good, you have to be a leader in your life, right? Like you have to be the one that's taking initiative in your life and making sure you're taking the right steps and right actions, right? I don't want you waiting on FDA to get your health back. I don't want FDA to have to ban everything in order for us to listen. We are the ones that are going to have to scream these things for FDA to hear. So while this is good news in the long run, here are 5 things that I want you to start doing if you want to balance your hormones naturally. Because remember, your body wants to be in homeostasis, okay? Your body wants to feel good. That's what it's designed to do. That's why we have the immune system. That's why we have adrenaline and stress hormones, but they're supposed to go down, and we're supposed to spend 95% of our time calm with parasympathetic nervous system activated, which is the calm one, where things get restored. The high stress ones are only for about 5%. The problem is nowadays most people are living in 100% stress. I was just talking to a new client yesterday and she was like, I don't know what that means. I don't even know what it means to be calm. Like she's setting it as a goal, but she's like, I don't even know what that means. That's okay. That's okay. We're going to get there. So I have my notes here and let's see what else did I want to address. The things that red dye 40 and yellow 5, and let's face it, all the others, have been linked to is hyperactivity in children and adults, hormone disruption, which we're about to talk about, and then even cancer. They have been banned in Europe for years for this reason. I don't know why it took so long, but I'm glad it did. I'm glad it did. I'm glad that it's changed, but I'm glad that things are changing in the right direction. Gosh, I'm saying the wrong stuff here. Okay. So we're now waiting for the FDA. We are getting control over our hormones. Food dyes are a part of the puzzle, right? They are a part of it. We can't just disregard the food dyes and ingredients that we're having, but they're just a part. If you want to balance your hormones naturally, here are 5 easy things you can do. The first thing is to reduce inflammation through simplicity. What we want to do is we want to start looking into all ingredients. I always teach my clients, the front side is marketing, the back side is the truth. So you always look, yes, the front side did a lot, spent a lot of money to make sure that you buy whatever it is that they want you to buy. But then you want to look into the back side. You want to look at all the ingredients. So the ingredients are going to tell you the truth. They are also listed from the most used to the least used. So also don't fall for that, because when it comes to sugar, for example, what the companies do is they take 5 different types of sugar and then they put them as ingredients throughout the list. So it doesn't seem that it's got the most sugar, as if they used only one, it would have been the first on the list, right? Okay. So you want to look into the order, but you also want to make this list easy, okay? Go for the easy stuff. Can you read the ingredients and ease the list short or long? The moment I see the list long, I don't even care what it is. I'm leaving that thing alone. So disregard the long lists, go for the shorter list, and look into the ingredients if you can read them all. That's the easiest thing to do. Now, there are other ways around it. They say things differently. They change the names of things. We'll get to that later. The first step for you is reading the ingredients. This way, you're going to reduce the toxic load. See, what your body is doing every day is trying to get rid of all these toxins. When we put red dye 40 in our body through juices, through candy, through ice cream, through yogurt, that's not helping, because the body is trying to reduce the toxic load. And besides that, we obviously have pollutants in the air and all the other things. The second thing you want to stop doing is dieting, okay? No more calories in versus calories out. What you want to do is no restrictions, nothing done obsessively. If you're doing anything obsessively, even tracking your calories, you're probably not on the right track. You want to start listening to your body. When are you actually hungry? When are you actually feeling hungry? And then taking your time to eat. One of the main problems that I see people do, and done it myself, is we eat too fast. When you take your time to eat, you will actually know when you're feeling satiated on time, okay? I used to just do the zoomies, right? Like I used to eat standing up all the time, and it really did nothing good for me or my hormones. Because what happens is you're trying to eat really fast. You're doing all these things really fast, and your body's sensing like, oh my God, we got to rush. There's some danger. And what it's doing, it's producing higher cortisol, higher adrenaline. And for a long period of time, this is never good. You're also not going to sleep well if you're feeling under attack, okay? Because it makes no sense. If your body's feeling under stress, if it's feeling under attack, it is not going to let you sleep well. So this is why we want to take our time and take time to eat. Signal to your body, we're not in any kind of rush. We're actually here to really enjoy ourselves. Number 3, you want to balance your blood sugar. So the reason why we gain weight and have all these issues that we're having is insulin. Insulin is the main guy that is getting released in our body. And then when we spike our insulin, it drops. And then we have to eat more sugar to feel some kind of better way. Okay, so what you want to do is pay attention to what you're eating. For example, you want to make sure protein is on every part of your plate, okay, or on your plate on every one of your meals. You want to make sure you have enough fiber, okay? So if you're not getting enough fiber, toxins are staying within your body. Fiber is, well, I don't want to get into fiber too much, but you need a lot of fiber. They're soluble and insoluble, and they come together. Things like chia seeds is a fantastic way to do it. Obviously, fruits and veggies are the best way to get your fiber from, and it's very important that you get it. It actually really helps balance your hormones. The 4th thing that you want to do is you want to regulate your nervous system daily. Remember, we talked about the zoomies, the rush that we feel. So what happens is, again, the body perceives danger, like you're running away from something. And if you're used to that, you're living in fight or flight all the time. And it doesn't work for long periods of time. No creature on planet Earth was designed for long-term stress. Once again, we're supposed to spend 95% of time in the calm and 5% of time in the stress zone. Like, think of any creature, like think of a zebra, right? Like it's grazing on grass, it's chilling with other zebras. Lions start chasing it, and hopefully it escaped. Like obviously there's adrenaline, obviously there's stress hormones in there. Once it escapes, the ones that do escape, then it's going back to grazing the grass. What do? We keep going to our friends and we're like, oh my God, you won't believe what happened to me. And then the body's actually reliving that same episode, thinking that this is happening. We don't regulate our central nervous system. So there are people who had traumas in the past, 10, 20, 30 years ago, and they actually still live, their central nervous system still lives as if that trauma is still happening. This is why it's important to actually pay attention to our breath. As simple as putting your hand in your heart and inhaling deep and exhaling long for a few times in a row is signaling to your body you're safe, because you would never take deep breaths if you were under attack. And there's no hormonal regulation. There's no hormonal, absolutely none, if your body doesn't feel safe. It's going to have high cortisol. It's going to burn out your adrenals, and it's going to mess up your whole body. Because again, we're not designed for that. And so you have to pay attention to how you're feeling when you get up. Do you take time for yourself? What's your day like? When you're going home, how do you feel? How do you feel in a grocery store? What you want to do is take a note of every single moment for about a week, maybe even 10 days, or ongoing forever, because this is going to become a habit if you do it regularly. And then evaluate, oh, okay, I'm noticing the stress. I'm noticing how I'm tensing up. You may notice this around different people, which is something to pay attention to. If you're noticing stress around certain people, These are the people that you want to limit your access to, because they are going to, because of them, your cortisol can go up. This is also the same in different environments, right? How do you feel in your home? Do you feel safe in your home? How do you feel? Do you feel safe in your room, right? Do you feel safe in your kitchen? Do you feel safe outside your door? Do you feel safe in wherever you're spending your time? Is it work? Is it school? Whatever it is, right? So you have to make sure that you're feeling safe everywhere. And if you're not, you want to do whatever you can to remove yourself from that situation. And number 5 is stop looking for permission to rest. We live in this hustle area where people are doing things all the time. And when they're not doing things on social media, which obviously we're here, but you want to make sure you're actually actively resting. If you're not, it would be like you're doing a workout all day long and never taking a break. And we all know that during the workout, for example, you're breaking down the muscle. It's in the recovery time that your muscle is growing and you're getting results. You're burning the body fat, for example. But it's in the rest time that you actually create the results. If you were exercising all the time, you would be breaking your body down all the time. It's the same with brain power. It's the same with anything you do with your body. You have to rest. You have to take time to do nothing. I love technology. It allowed me to change my life, but at the same time, we have to be careful with it to make sure it doesn't rob us the free time. It's okay to be bored. It's okay to get away from the phone. It's okay to turn it off every once in a while. It's okay to read the book, spend time in nature, do something for yourself to actually rest. So these are the 5 things that I would do, what I do with my clients, and I started doing these to help regulate the hormones. Then we need to look into where the hormones are now, how is your sleep, and all of these other things. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got value out of it. Please always make sure to share this with someone who needs to hear it, and follow for more information on hormones. And I'll see you next time.